What is up, YouTube? That's here, and today I'm bringing you guys a video going over my issue with the Bring Back National Dex movement that has been sweeping the whole Pokemon community. This thing is on Twitter, YouTube, the internet, Twitch. This thing is just everywhere. Anything and everything regarding Pokemon Sword and Shield coming out this winter definitely has this Bring Back National Dex hashtag attached to it. And so for those of you guys that don't know what the whole Bring Back National Dex movement is, during E3, during the Nintendo Treehouse, when they were showing demos of Pokemon Sword and Shield, they didn't really let it slip. They pretty much just said not all Pokemon are going to be in the game. And what they mean by that is, unlike previous gens where you can use like Pokemon Bank or just the trade feature to transfer over any Pokemon you want. If you've caught it in previous gens, you could transfer it over. You're not going to be able to do that with every Pokemon in this game. You're only going to be able to transfer over Pokemon that are already in the Gen 8 Pokedex. So a lot of people are just like losing their shit over this because they're like, oh my gosh, like I can't use my Mudkip that I've had for 15 years since Gen 3. That's ridiculous. And I'm definitely going to talk about all that stuff, but I'm just trying to lay the groundwork for the whole situation. Like, a lot of people are, arguably upset that they, aren't able to use their, Pokemon they've had for a really long time. A lot of people put a lot of time and money and investment into, like, shiny hunting and building, like, bonds with their Pokemon. And so, since I get asked this question, like, 5 to 6, 10, 15, 20, 100 times every single day, I figured I'd just make a video because I can really go over my thoughts in like a long form. I can give like detailed examples of things that I think are okay and not okay. I can do a little bit of a question and answer, and I also urge you guys to leave your thoughts on this situation in the comments below. I reply to every single comment, no matter whether it being someone calling me out or someone supporting their own ideas. I reply to every single comment. So without further ado, let's kind of hop into this thing. So I don't know how many people are still watching this video, right? I don't know how many people have gone to leave their comments yet. But the first thing we're going to do before I really get into the bulk of my argument is we're going to go look at the Pokemon Twitter account where a lot of this activity is really going down. So this is, this is my Twitter. We're looking at the Pokemon Twitter account. You can see these are all tweets from the Pokemon official Twitter account. So this just happened. Like, these were the Pokemon International Championships, the Nationals for, the VGC, the TCG, and the Pokemon International Championships were this weekend. And so you would think that would mean there's like a ton of people hyped to play Pokemon. They're interested in Sword and Shield. They're learning more about competitive play. And, that's what you would think. But if you click on any of these tweets, let's just click on the first one. That's a wrap, trainers. Thanks for following along this weekend. Next stop, Washington, D.C., which is where Worlds is. What a nice, wholesome tweet. You got Pikachu and Eevee. Every single one of these tweets is, next stop, boycott Pokemon. We won't let our beloved Pokemon behind. Bring back National Dex. Bring back National Dex. Look at this. Look at this. Why are people doing this? Like, why do people think this is okay? I can't believe it. And you may be thinking like, that's it. You just picked one. You just picked one. Let's pick another one. Let's pick another one. Let's pick. I mean, I could go down all these, but let's pick this one. This one is about the children. Meet Connor Ewan, the 2019 video game Junior North American International Champion. This is this kid's big day to shine. This is his whole life's led up to this moment. He's finally become the very best, like no one ever was. And people are like this person, there we go. Shout out to this person. I'm gonna like this tweet. Bam. Yes, congratulations, Connor. Great job, Connor. Like it, yo. Always like tweets that are nice and wholesome like that. Bring back National Dex. Like, bring back National Dex. Bring back National Dex. Bring back. Always like that. Bam, bam, bam. We liking those. We like those. We support people, especially the children here. But this is like seriously, the Pokedex thing is now kind of disrespectful for the kid. Could you shut up for a second? Congratulate him. I like that too. Bam! Yo, we want a liking spree tonight, boys. We want a liking spree. You know what else you can do? You can like the link to twitter.com/THATSaplusONE. Let's look at another one. Let's look at like 2 more down. Get ready for the Galar region. Trainers on site here at 2019 Pokemon North American International Championships got a chance to play the demo. Look at that! Like, people should be so happy they get to play the demo. Oh, I don't even want to know what this is. I'm not even going to look at that one. Bring back National Dex. Bring back National Dex. And we're going to see this post. We're going to answer all of these questions in this video. Bring back National Dex. Bring back National Dex. Bring it back. So what do I mean? What is the point I'm trying to make here? What is the point I'm trying to make? It's obvious what side I'm on, I think. the point I'm trying to make is, if you think that, like, going and, like, spouting bring back national decks is going to solve anything, you're an idiot. If you think that it's okay to go, like, out onto, you know, the different social media platforms where people are trying to have a good time, and you start saying stuff like, bring back national decks, I hate this is the stupidest thing ever, like, you're a sheep. Like, you're a terrible person. You're that type of person in that one meme where these people are all enjoying, like, they're, like, having fun doing stuff, and you're like, this thing sucks, and then the people are still having fun, you're like, it's so bad, I hate it, and then the people are still having fun, you're like, stop having fun. Like, what? People aren't allowed to have fun? Like, just, who the hell do you think you are? Like, random people that are a part of this apparently wholesome Pokemon community, and you're all saying, like, I demand that this get changed. How lazy are these developers? Because they can't make the game exactly the way I want it. I'm gonna boycott it, and I'm gonna get everyone that I know to throw the biggest pity party as well. Like, what? Like, who do you think you are? You have to, how entitled do you have to be to have that mentality? And that's why I said, I started off with calling those people sheep, because all they're doing is following the example set by other people who are, all these people, even you sheep, are allowed to completely have your opinion. I get that. But, like, that doesn't mean you have to be, like, an asshole about it. Like, you saw how many people were, like, banging on that kid for, like, winning nationals. You know how happy he was supposed to be? He probably goes and checks that tweet. His parents go check that tweets. And, like, all these people are just, like, super mad. And I just can't get over the fact that, like, anyone in their right mind would think for themselves, which is why I called you sheep, no one's thinking for themselves, would think in their own mind that it's okay to go spread, like, that hate for, like, no reason for a game that's, like, not even out yet. And for those of you guys that say, like, well, I think the game should be played this way, it's always been played this way, and unless it's played this way, I'm not gonna buy it. Well, don't buy it. Like, what? Like, who's making you buy this game? That's another thing. It's like, okay, well, you don't like something, like, that's, and you can totally say, like, I have every right to voice my disdain for this, because unless we voice our disdain, it won't get fixed. And to an extent, you're right, but, like, we go back and look at some of these tweets, they only have, like, 300 or 400, like, replies of that. And that just means that you and your band of people that are, like, grouping together for the common good, like, you're not heroes, you're bullies. Like, you're seriously a group of, like, bad people that are just getting together to throw their most toxic pity party. And if you think that your bring back national decks movement is gonna, like, change anything other than just making the people that already want to play feel bad about wanting to play, then you're wrong. Because Pokemon does not care about you few thousand people. Pokemon as a company they do not care that you don't like something, because at the very end of the day, like, all these people that's like, I'm gonna cancel my pre-order, I'm not gonna buy it. You guys know that this gen has, like, more pre-orders than any Pokemon game before it, has, like, more pre-orders than, like, almost any game ever released ever in the history of game releases. Like, you can go check that data, it's up there. It's ridiculous how people think that all this hate mongering is actually gonna do anything. And so I'm just gonna answer some questions here. And so these guys that I've probably lost, like, 1,000 subs already. I've probably already lost 1,000 subs. I hope not. You know, this channel is not normally this negative. It's not. But I found the way to fix that back. Let's go back. Let's see. Let's go back. So all these bring back national decks things. This has 500. 500. This is the one we just looked at. It has 500. This one has, like, 100. Let's just look at it. We haven't looked at this one. It has 100. It's about the card game. Bring back national decks. This has nothing to do with the card game. This has absolutely nothing to do with the card game. Like, why? Why do people do this? I just don't get it. It's like, this isn't even the thing that, it's not even towards the video game. It's the card game. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. So we're going to be answering some questions in this next part. This is an image I found, you know, going through the Bring Back National Decks, like, archives. Now, this is supposed to be, the red text is supposed to be what people who are, you know, against the Bring Back National Decks movements, the type of questions they're saying to say, like, how dare you Bring Back National Decks people think this way. This is pretty much the Bring Back National Decks people putting words in people like me's mouth. And this is their, like, well thought out answer. Note how the blue text has a lot more than the red text. So not only are they putting, like, you know, answers or questions in our mouse that we're not asking, they're taking more time to answer it. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to critique both the red and the blue, say my thoughts on the issue, and, just move on. So like I said, the red is supposed to be, people like me's point of view. And so it says, this is necessary for a fresh start. If you want to use older Pokemon, just play the older games. Did I say that? I didn't say that. That's what some people might say. They're like, I actually just said this game's not for you. And it's not made for you because, it might not be something you like. It's not made for you because if this is your thought process, like, this game, you don't deserve it. You don't deserve to play if you're going to be this toxic about a game that's not even out yet. But anyways, their response is, this has never been necessary for any other game. And whether you want to have a fresh start or not should be entirely up to the player, right? I guess, but like, does it say that anywhere? Like, does it say like every Pokemon Venture is up to the player and this is not Skyrim, you don't decide the lore of your character. It's a Pokemon game. But the correct answer, again, they're putting words in our mouths that we're not asking, saying, but what about the transition from Gen 2 to Gen 3? Because that's what a lot of people say, or maybe they do. And their response is, that was a different situation. The Pokemon not obtainable in those games were still playable through the means of transferring from other games within Gen 3, such as Colosseum and Fire Red Leaf Green. In Sword and Shield, non-Galar Pokemon won't exist at all. So note that the way this whole argument is centered is they're putting the questions in our mouth, and they're taking time to answer them without, like, ever addressing the fact that we're not asking them, they're not giving us any response to it, and they're moving on. So they're literally picking and choosing every single bit that, to spin it to where it looks like people like me are the bad guy. When in reality, this whole thing being made, like, this image right here is just, like, the biggest toxic waste of space I've ever seen in my life. So that's how I feel about it. But yeah, back in the day, a lot of people would think like, yeah, they did like a change from Gen 2 to Gen 3, and you weren't able to transfer a lot of those Pokemon over, right? I remember that, but like, I also remember like completely buying all the games and not caring at all. And that doesn't mean I'm just some super chill person or I'm some Pokemon shill that'll buy whenever Pokemon prints. It's like, no, I just want a good game, and they make good games, and that's how this works. Like, I want my games to be good. I don't want my games to suck. And if they're saying like them doing this makes the games better, then I'll believe them, because why wouldn't I believe them? What have they done to make me not believe them? Like, ever, for any reason? I can't even think of a reason. They made it so I couldn't get my Pokemon from Gen 1 to Gen 3. Oh no. The competitive metagame is a complete mess. This is necessary to balance it. So note that that's the words they've chosen. The competitive metagame is a mess. This is necessary to balance it. So they're trying to say this is an argument from my side of the spectrum. They're not elaborating anything on that, and they're just cutting it right there, and they're saying they already had systems in place that would balance the competitive scene. In X and Y and Sun and Moon, Pokemon would have a mark, like a plus mark or like that pentagram mark, that they were obtained in Gen 6-7. They could just expand upon that. Incorrect. That doesn't stop anything. That stops absolutely nothing. Whether you play VGC, whether you play Smogon rules, that literally only stops like people that are trying to hack. Pretty much what those marks said was that the Pokemon that you're using were obtained in a newer game, so like you couldn't like hack a Pokemon, because it's a lot easier to hack a Pokemon without that mark in older games and just trade them over than it is to hack a Pokemon now. And not to say that it's hard to hack a Pokemon now, but it's harder to hack one now than it was to have them already hacked back in the day. So that was not to balance the game competitively at all, for any reason. That was a complete way to stop hacking. That was a way to keep the game, manageable. Had nothing to do with the meta, especially like Smogon. Like, how does that affect Smogon? You can literally like still use Pokemon from like Gen 4 that got like TM moves and stuff like that from Gen 4. Like, in Gen 7, like, Stealth Rock became, like, a TM or, like, a move tutor move again, and that was how you got it back on Metagross. But, like, in Gen 6, if you wanted Stealth Rock Metagross, well, you had to trade one over from Gen 4, and you could still totally use it and had nothing to do with these marks. So, like, this whole argument as a response to the competitive metagame is a mess and this could balance it is just completely broken. And, by the way, if they're, like, cutting a lot of Pokemon, and if they're doing that to balance the game, that will make the game so much more balanced, because imagine how much more balanced a game would be without the things that cause it to have problems. Think about what the game's problems are. Every single tier, every single format for VGC, singles, what have you, has a ton of problems. And if Pokemon are saying like, wow, this Pokemon is like such a big problem, like Landorus, for example, there's a picture of Landorus right there. What if we just took Landorus out for like a season? Maybe we'll add it in the future, who really knows? And see how like the format handles itself without a Landorus, period, in any format, singles, doubles, what have you. The format might be like a lot better, and who knows? And if like it doesn't get better and the format, let's say, needs Landorus, well, it's not like Landorus is never coming back. It might come back, who knows? Maybe the format needs it, I really don't know. But, you know, the metagame will be impacted by this change, and I think that it's only going to be good. Every single time there's a limited dex, there's only good things that come from it. You look at VGC 2011, 2014, 2017, all great formats in my opinion, especially for newer players. That's the whole thing. People that are newer to the game, like, perfect formats for them. And I can't wait to see the format once like the new game comes out. So, next up, scroll up. They're improving the quality of the game, quality over quantity. Okay. I can agree with that. Let's see the words that they decide to answer based off of this statement. Judging from what we've seen, this is highly doubtful. 800 plus Pokemon wasn't an issue when Sun and Moon was released and isn't an issue now. Even if they did magically improve the quality of the games, having every Pokemon is the most basic thing that makes Pokemon stand out for every other game. These are the past like 3 things they've said have been totally incorrect. The sheer amount of Pokemon and consistency being able to have all of them in the game, Game Freak has already cut so much content over the years. When will it stop? What's this person's problem? Like, why can't they just be happy and let other people have fun? Let's start from the top of this. So, improving the quality of the game, quality over quantity. Who are they to dictate what makes quality content, right? You know, to them, it's obvious that it's the all 800 Pokemon. But for me, as a person who runs a battle channel, I actually think that quality is a balanced metagame, a balanced VGC format, a balanced singles format. Who knows? Maybe a really good ladder format. Really, what matters to me might be like a really, really good like online ladder format. And so for them just to say that like the only thing that matters is how many Pokemon are in the game, that is not only like false, but like incredibly selfish, right? It's just incredibly self-centered for them to think like that. And the thing about it is, you could say the same thing about me. They're like, well, you're just saying that because you like battles. No, I'm just saying this is like a regular person. Like I'm the one that brought up the idea that quality is relative. And this person just doesn't get it. I don't even know who made this thing, by the way. I have no clue who made this thing, but I don't agree with it. and my issue with not agreeing with it, you know, let me see. Because I don't want to just like, you know, witch hunt this person or witch hunt any of these people. That's not what we're doing here. We're not witch hunting these people. But people ask me my thoughts. I'm allowed to have them. And I'm the one making a video. So anyways, so they're saying it's not an issue when Pokemon Sun and Moon was released, and it's not an issue now for like how many Pokemon are in the game. And, you know, that's just, like I said, it doesn't matter to me how many Pokemon are in the game as long as it's fun. As long as it's fun, I don't care. Even if they did magically improve the quality of the game, again, they're implying what the word quality means. Having every Pokemon is the most basic thing. Again, applying again. Sheer amount of Pokemon, consistently being able to have all of them in every game. All relative. Game Freak really cut so much content over the years. When will this stop? What content have they cut? What? Like, what content? Where did this come from? Like, why would you even add that? Who is adding the Game Freak has already cut so much content over the years? When will it stop? Who benefits from this? You're just being toxic. You're literally just being toxic. Like, who does this help? I don't get it. Like, someone raise a hand. Tell me the content they've cut. What have they cut from you? Who hurt you? Like, I don't get it. I see. This had nothing to do with they improving the quality of the game, quality over quantity. I don't understand what content has been cut that has hurt you so badly. All right. What to see? There are too many resources to manage. There are thousands of models to work with. Game Freak can't handle it. Before I even look at their thing, I'm going to say that I did not bring that up. I do not think that's like the main reason, and that's just stupid. I think the Switch can handle it, and I'm going to be going to my reasons why at the very end of the video, why I even think the whole thing is happening the way it is. But like, this is the argument that they always hear people say, you know, So everyone's like, well, then why don't they hire new people or outsource it to other people or do things and just get the job done? Game Freak's so lazy. That's what people usually like. That's what the people in blue, the Bring Back National Pokedex movement, that's what those people think. You know, they think like, why don't they just do their job and stop being lazy? I don't know. I have no clue. But also like the thing in red, like too many resources to manage, thousands of models to work with. That argument doesn't hold up for me either. But like, I don't have a problem with it, like at all. Game Freak's a busy company. They're making multiple games at once. They still have to balance like this meta game. They're still working on like Sun and Moon. They're still doing Let's Go. They're still doing other stuff. Like they got a lot of shit to do, and I'm very thankful that they do it. So like, I'm not gonna bitch and complain about a game that's not even out yet. Game Freak doesn't have enough development time, which is kind of true because, like I said, they are a game company that makes multiple games, and like Pokemon had to be here for this year's winter release, whether it was done or not. So like, who knows? They might have known that they couldn't have had all this done like a year ago and just decided to like cut it and be like, all right, we're gonna cut it up and release some Pokemon now, release some Pokemon later, release some Pokemon in, you know, Gen 4 Remix or something like that. And that's totally possible. But a lot of people think that like not enough time is some sort of like argument, which I never even brought up. Not only is this issue with them being stubborn and keeping their employee count low, not outsourcing work on the game, but it has been stated by Ishihara of the Pokemon Company that these games have been in development before even Let's Go, meaning they've been in work since at least 2016. Yeah. Like, okay. So you're gonna call the people who make your favorite games, apparently this game's like so important to you that you had to make this like huge post. All these people, every single tweet on the whole Pokemon Twitter, they type bring back National Dex, everything bring back National Dex, just spreading the negativity. It's so important to them, it's a favorite game. But like, they're talking about how like selfish and stubborn the like people who make the game are. I just don't understand like this level of hatred. It's like, you don't bite the hand that feeds you, guys. Like, I don't even understand it. But again, I don't agree with the whole Game Freak doesn't have enough development time. If you were to hear me saying illogical arguments like that to support my claims, you would have every single right to call me out. But for these past two, those are not anything that I'm saying at all. So the thing is, like, this is their big seller point. This is their big counter to people like me, and I'm not even asking those questions. I'm kind of agreeing. Like, yeah, maybe they could have outsourced it, but like, if they did outsource it, maybe it would have sucked. And so I'm fine with what we get. How hard is it to be content with something? It's actually not. It's not if you're not a bad person. That's the ticket. You were never able to catch every Pokemon. Why are you only complaining now? While in past games, not every Pokemon was obtainable within the game, you were always able to simply transfer over other games. Or transfer over from other games. I've never really said that argument, but like, you know, like not every Pokemon's in Let's Go Eevee, and that thing sold like a bajillion copies. And those Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee games like are amazing, and they're so much fun, and they're so good for getting people into the game, and so many people had wonderful experiences with those games. And the amount of people that had problems with Let's Go Eevee are the definite 1%. Most people that bought the games liked them, would buy another one, and generally had a great time. And you couldn't get every Pokemon in those games. So it's all about quality. See how that works? You make a game that's good, it doesn't need every single Pokemon. Like literally, we had an amazing Pokemon game, Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, with 150. And there's gonna be like at least 2-3 times that in Sword and Shield. Do you understand like how many more Pokemon? Like, well, all I'm saying is you only need 150 Pokemon to make a good game. You only need 150 Pokemon to make a good game. And yeah, that's pretty much it. All right. No one cares about unpopular opinion anyway. I think they're right in removing them. I don't understand this. No one cares about unpopular No one cares about unpopular Pokemon anyway. It's like saying no one cares about Slackoth. I think they're right in removing them. And so they say, not only is that extremely selfish, but it's absolutely wrong. Every Pokemon is loved by someone, regardless of how you feel about them. On this channel, we actually make videos saying how you can win with every single Pokemon. I'm a huge proprietor of saying that you can win with every single Pokemon and saying that every single Pokemon is someone's favorite Pokemon. The argument that no one cares about whatever Slackoth Pokemon is wrong, and then saying I think they're right in removing him. Now saying that I don't. Now the better way to phrase the red argument there would say, now I don't really think that Slackoth is everyone's favorite Pokemon. What if we didn't have Slackoth in Gen 8, but then we add it to Ultra Sword and Shield, or we add it in the Gen 4 remakes, or we add it in some other thing. And then they said, like, yeah, maybe they'll add it in a later update. And then it says, Game Freak, specifically Matsuda, said that they're not intending to do any updates or DLC for the series at this time, and they have never done so before. First of all, they've never done so before because look at the freaking, look at this thing. Could this thing DLC? I could barely charge this thing, let alone DLC it. But you know why they said that they're not gonna do DLC or like other games? It's because they want to sell their new game. If people are, if Pokemon Company were to come out and say like, oh yeah, what we're gonna do is in like a year or two, we're just gonna make another game that actually has all of them, people are just gonna wait and buy that one, right? But if they don't say it, they'll buy the game now, and then they'll probably buy that one too. And you can think that's slimy all you want. That's the world, Chief. That's how business works. And at the end of the day, these games are $60. If you got $60, like, I almost want to say tough noogies, but like, you could get $60 before the game comes out. Is not hard. Most of them yards. You don't need a college degree to get $60. But yeah, they're trying to focus on their game. That's why you don't see any company ever talk about any game that's ever gonna happen. Like, look at every single like Pokemon thing that's ever happened. Before like E3, people like interview Mats and all those people in like old games like Gen 5, Gen 6, and they'll be like, oh, what about next gen? And they're like, we're just focusing on this gen right now. We're just doing this right now. This is what we're doing right now. And then like a week later, they'll drop a trailer that talks about the new gen. Obviously, everything's already been made, but they don't have anything to say about it because they want to sell the things that they're working on right now. That's good business practice. And so I absolutely think they're going to make a Ultra Sword and Shield, or Sword and Shield 2, or a Gen 4 remake eventually. And that's where I think all of these other Pokemon that aren't in this Dex are going to come in. And it's not about money grubbing business tactics. It's about that's what's going to make the games worth buying. It's not even about like, oh, I need this game to complete my Pokedex. It's like, nah, this game has these Pokemon and this game has these Pokemon. And you need to play both to get the full experience. It's about the experience. Who cares? Do people forget about the experience of the Pokemon games? I guess they did. I didn't. And that's how I see it. And so the last thing, they're putting words in our mouths again, saying, I don't see the problem, or I don't care. They're saying people be saying, tough noogies, whatever. Then why are you even commenting on it? I don't know. Why, my guy, did you even make this post? Because this post is not positive. This post doesn't support Pokemon. This post actively detracts people that don't know how to think for themselves. Like, this post doesn't help anyone. Who are you helping? Tell me who you're helping. You're helping people trying to save them the $60 to buy a game you don't think they'll like based off your own thoughts? Like I'll say it again. Like, who the hell do you think you are? Like, being able to sway people with such a toxic opinion on a game that's not even out yet. So I'm 90% sure. I'm a 1,000,000% sure that this game is just gonna like completely tank my channel. Not the game. This video is just gonna tank my channel. But I think it had to be done. And I definitely want to know what you guys' thoughts on in the comments. Like, if you hate it, hate my thoughts, we'll talk about it. We'll debate in the comments. And I will 100% answer everyone. But I just want to say, if you guys got this far, thank you for watching. I've held off on announcing all this stuff for a long time. A lot of people always ask me like, oh, what do you think about this? And I'm like, it's whatever. I'll buy the game, because that's the short answer. That's the like PG answer that I can do on stream. But I felt it's about time that I made a video like this, and hopefully it doesn't kill my channel, and hopefully I've swayed some of you guys to actually go from the bring back National Dex movement to at least giving the game a chance. All I ask is that you give the game a chance. If you really don't like it, return it, sell it, do something. You'll lose $20 if you return it like immediately. Or like maybe you can like return it with your GameStop receipt or something and get some other game. I really don't know. But I want to say thank you for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you guys enjoy Sword and Shield, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out.